What happens when a man has almost everything the world tells us will make him happy, but still asks, what is the meaning of life? What if that man was a king? A man surrounded by wealth, wisdom, power, beautiful things, great projects, and every pleasure available to him. What did he discover? First, he tested wisdom. Then he tested pleasure, then wealth, possessions, work, and achievement. And each time, he came back to the same disturbing conclusion. It is like chasing the wind. But why? Was Solomon saying that life itself is meaningless, or was he warning us that we are searching for meaning in the wrong place? The answer is hidden inside the book of Ecclesiastes. The story begins with a question. What does a person gain from all the labor at which they toil under the sun? That question appears near the beginning of Ecclesiastes. And notice what the teacher is asking. He isn't asking whether work is useful. He is asking, what lasting gain do we actually get from everything we spend our lives working for? So he begins an experiment first. Wisdom, the teacher says he devoted himself to understanding wisdom and knowledge. And he discovered something surprising. Wisdom is better than foolishness, just as light is better than darkness. But wisdom still has a limit. Because the wise person and the foolish person eventually face the same reality, death. The wise person cannot use wisdom to escape death, so the question comes back. What then do I gain by being wise? And this is where his search becomes even deeper. If wisdom cannot provide the ultimate answer, perhaps pleasure can, so he tests it. He drinks wine, he experiences laughter. He builds houses, plants vineyards, creates gardens and parks, builds reservoirs, gathers wealth, and acquires possessions. He surrounds himself with entertainment, and everything his position allows. Ecclesiastes 2 describes this in extraordinary detail. He says he denied himself nothing his eyes desired. He experienced pleasure, worked hard, and accomplished great things from the outside. This looks like the perfect life, but then he stops and looks back at everything he has built, and his conclusion is shocking. It was a chasing after the wind. Nothing was permanently gained, but why? Because even achievement has a deadline. A person can spend decades building something, and eventually someone else receives it. The teacher asks what happens to all the work when the person who created it is gone. And there is another problem. Even if you become successful, you cannot control what happens tomorrow. That leads Ecclesiastes to one of its most important ideas. There is a time for everything, a time to be born, and a time to die, a time to plant, and a time to uproot, a time to weep, and a time to laugh, a time to build, and a time to tear down. Life contains seasons we cannot completely control. And this is why the book keeps using the phrase, under the sun. The teacher is looking honestly at human life as we experience it: work, success, injustice, pleasure, loss, aging, and death. Then comes an important correction. When Ecclesiastes says everything is meaningless, it doesn't simply mean nothing matters. The Hebrew word often translated as meaningless or vanity is hevel. It carries the picture of something like vapor or breath, something temporary, something that cannot simply be grasped and held forever. So Ecclesiastes is not teaching that life has zero value. It is exposing the problem of expecting temporary things to provide permanent meaning. Money can give comfort, but it cannot give immortality. Wisdom can guide you, but it cannot prevent death. Pleasure can make you happy for a moment, but it cannot permanently satisfy you. Work can produce something valuable, but you cannot keep control of it forever, and even human fame fades. So after testing all these things, what does the teacher finally recommend? Not abandoning life, not refusing to work, not refusing to enjoy good things. Instead, Ecclesiastes repeatedly tells us to receive ordinary blessings as gifts from God. Eat, drink, work, and enjoy the good that comes from your labor, but recognize where those gifts come from. Ecclesiastes 2 says that the ability to enjoy these things is itself a gift from God. And then the book reaches its final conclusion. After all the searching, all the questions, all the experiments, and all the observations about wisdom, pleasure, wealth, work, injustice, and death, the teacher says, fear God and keep his commandments. Why? Because life is not ultimately about how much you accumulate, how much pleasure you experience, how intelligent you become, or how much people remember your name. Ecclesiastes ends by pointing beyond everything under the sun toward God. So what did Solomon's search for meaning actually discover? He discovered that temporary things make terrible gods, wisdom is valuable, work is valuable, money can be useful, pleasure can be enjoyed, and achievement can be worthwhile. But none of them can carry the weight of eternity. The problem isn't always that we have too little. Sometimes we are asking temporary things to give us what only God can give. And that is the deeper message of Ecclesiastes. Life under the sun is short. Much of it is beyond our control. And everything we can see eventually passes away. So don't spend your entire life chasing the wind and expecting it to stay in your hands. Receive today's life as a gift. Do your work faithfully, enjoy what God gives you, and remember the one who gave you life in the first place.